Yes guys, Coach Rob at Optimal Carnivore. Now I want to give you the fastest free home health check you can do. That's all you need is one of these. So basically free, and it's so quick and easy. You don't have to pay for expensive blood tests and these nuanced reference ranges and all this and waiting for them to be produced. This is one free thing you can do, and all you need is one of these. It's your waist to height ratio. So most people know the height, but if they don't, measure your height, get someone to help you with that, and then you're going to measure around the belly button. I'm going to show you, and it obviously do it in inches for both or centimeters for both. As long as it's the same metric, you'll be fine. And it's a great health check. And then inside the window, look under the hood what's going on in your body, because it tracks perfectly with fasting insulin. Your waist to height ratio, if your waist is getting more than half your height, it just tracks perfectly. Fasting insulin, perfectly, which shows insulin resistance, which is type 2 diabetes. The biggest killer of type 2 diabetics is heart disease. So you want to avoid the biggest killer of people, try this test. How are you going to do it? Yep, all you need, one of these. And yeah, if you don't know your height, or if you know your height, say like you know you're 6 foot, Google what 6 foot is in inches, which I think it's 72 inch. So, and then you're going to round the belly button. Relaxed, not tensed up, sucked in, not pushed out. So that says 34 inch for me. So you're going to divide your height by your waist and you're going to get a figure. You want it to be around 0.5 or below. If you're tracking it, which I get my clients to do, you best keep it as accurate as possible. Like first thing in the morning when you weigh yourself, first thing in the morning, do you round the belly button area, your waist to height ratio, nice and relaxed. Your food, more food will pass through. You're just keeping it as accurate as possible. Physiologically, why does that mean you're getting more type 2 diabetic? You're more and more until it eventually gets diagnosed and it could be too late. It's because, made videos on this before, but type 2 diabetes is just a disease of over fatness. They don't want to admit it. That's why it's 100% reversible. We're going to reverse engineer that, which we'll get onto. So once you've filled up subcutaneous fat under the skin, perfectly healthy, it's what it's supposed to do. It's meant to go there. All your little fat cells, like little balloons, slowly getting bigger. Once they're full, if you're eating hyperpalatable food, not unnatural food, and we're bypassing satiety signals and we're getting fatter and fatter and fatter, which we're not supposed to, because that's the only time we're meant to get fatter, maybe 2 weeks of the year at the end of the autumn harvest before the winter was coming, but problem now, winter never comes. Fat energy in the blood, which is triglycerides, and sugar energy in the blood, carb energy, is your glucose. That is why that starts to circulate, because your fat cells are bursting full, they're refusing insulin. Insulin can't do its job, so the pancreas detects all this fuel pressure sensor, keeps putting insulin higher, higher, higher. That's why fasting insulin rises as you're getting more and more fatter. Then it's refusing glucose, it's refusing triglycerides, so you get hyperinsulinemia. Insulin keeps rising, literally trying to get fuels out your bloodstream and shove it anywhere it can. So it's going to shove it in the visceral fat. So you've heard of visceral fat. So that is why we measure around the belly button. If you've got fat like in this area, and also it's also like always like solid because it's pushing from the outside. It's not like jiggly jelly puppy fat sort of thing. Visceral fat, because nowhere else to go. Then you get ectopic fat, which is fat where it really doesn't belong, shoved in your pancreas, your liver, fatty liver disease, in your heart disease, all these things going on. So you measure around that area. If it's not 0.5 or below, do you know, if your waist isn't half at least of your height, then you're pretty sure that visceral fat is starting to accumulate. That beer belly, all paid for, is what's contributing towards your type 2 diabetes, your heart attack, and your early death. Which might sound crazy and harsh and think, whoa, but what is the point in sugarcoating it? This could save the loved one, send it to a loved one, or let it resonate with you. If you've got that beer belly and if, say, like your kid has to draw you at school and he's drawing his dad and he puts a belly on him and he looks pregnant, like, that should be a wake-up call. How do we get out this mess? It is not the inevitable, okay? Because I've had so many clients that are older in age, men and women, like my dad's a great example, that can reverse it. It is not the inevitable. It is your lifestyle. And a lot of people will, if I said to them, right, tell me 3 things you think you're doing wrong, they'll tell you. Alcohol, too many takeaways, don't exercise. Okay, let's start. So let's reverse engineer it. We know what caused the visceral fat, to fail the waist height ratio, the diabetes, heart attack stuff. We know what causes us to get fat. Hyperpalatable, unnatural food. Too many ultra-processed seed oils and carbohydrates, sugar, flour, oil, all this unnatural food. So and alcohol, what is the obvious answer? Get rid of those. Don't try and moderate them. You can't moderate drugs. You're giving your body a signal that winter is coming every day. That's why you're having to snack. You're getting blood sugar crashes, dopamine, highs and lows, insulin blocking leptin, fructose blocking leptin, our main satiety hormone, and that's why you just can't seem to get full. Trust me, strip it way back, drop everything that caused this, get rid of your type 2 diabetes, which is completely reversible. Anyone tells you otherwise, run. As soon as you start to lose that fat around the viscera and you reverse your fatty liver disease, then you start losing fat from your subcutaneous fat. These little balloons start to deflate, and then when you eat, they can inflate and deflate when you're eating the optimal human diet. Start the carnivore diet. If you don't have a clue what to do, get a coach. I know a few good ones. Cheers, guys. Boom.